Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be applications you can apply to your life and a little more in depth about the chapter. We are in Deuteronomy 31, verses 1 through 30. Now, Joshua has been with Moses for many years at this point. And Joshua was a faithful man to God, even from the very beginning when he was one of the first spies to go in and bring back reports of the promised land. And Moses had taught Joshua to depend on God, to lean on his faith, that God was going to be with him. Now, today, we need to teach other people to depend on God and not necessarily on us all the time. We need to teach them and help them to stand firm on the Word of God so that they can go out and spread the Word of God among other people in their communities, in their nations, and wherever they travel. And we're to be strong and of good courage. We have God that's going to go before us and fight for us every time. And that's the kind of encouragement that we need to pass on to others in our lives. But we do need to make sure that we are teaching people about God. That means our children, our family, our friends, anybody we come in contact with, we need to tell them about God and His Word. Now, God is merciful, and in His mercy, He kept His end of the covenant, His end of the promise. He kept His word. God still led them into the promised land, even though He knew that they would forsake Him and turn away from Him. And then it talks about evil being in the latter days. Well, today we're in the latter days. There is so much evil in the world, and people are following after their hearts and their own lust. And many have already made their choice and don't even think twice about it. There's many parents that don't take their children to church. There's many parents that don't read the Bible and know the Bible, so therefore, how can they teach their children about God? And that's just really sad. God is still with us. God is in control. Now, Satan has been given this world to do as he pleases with God's permission. And so many have forsaken God and turned to other gods. Maybe not of silver and gold and metals and other things, but of cars and jobs and celebrities and money itself. And we want to sit there and yell, "It's my right to do whatever." Well, the only right you really have is to die. And then the real important question is where do you want to be? Heaven or hell? God is still on His throne, and God is still King of Kings and Lords of Lords. And we have to stand strong in our faith. We need to be of good courage. We need to let our faith be seen by others so that their hearts may be softened and that God may be able to work with them. God is merciful. He is loving. And He is always going to be here until the very end and then beyond. So God will wait for His children to come back to Him, because God is the only one that can save us. And God is the only one that's going to be with us through everything that happens. He's going to be the one that's with us even when everything goes wrong. God will be the one thing that we can count on and we can rely on. So we need to be sure that we stay close to God, that we're reading the Bible, and that we're trying to apply His lessons to our life. And then if we try to live a pleasing life to God, then one day we will walk the streets of gold with Jesus Christ. May God be with you in everything and in every way.